Good evening and welcome to the beautiful campus of St. Charles East High School in West Suburban Fox Valley community of St. Charles. It's the final match of the 2000 boys prep soccer season and the 29th edition of the IHSA State Soccer Finals. Good evening, I'm Tom Bonin, and it'll be my pleasure to bring you all the action here from St. Charles for the next couple hours. And joining me is our good friend Mike Garofalo from the Daily Herald and a frequent contributor to Soccer America. Mike, what a great night for soccer and a great matchup between these two teams.
That's right, Tom. Edwardsville returns after a 3-year absence. Earlier in the week, they qualified by beating Quincy 2-0 in a super sectional. And then on their first game here, the quarterfinal, in overtime, 2 overtimes, they beat Boylan 2-1. And then they qualified to the finals with an impressive 4-0 win over Waubonsie Valley, Tom.
Well, it's been a very good road for Edwardsville and an even better road for the undefeated Knights of Lincoln Way. Lincoln Way comes in 26-0-2. They've been ranked the #1 team in the nation throughout the entire prep season. Now, they had the victory over Sandburg in the super sectional 1-0, a great match there on the south side earlier in the week. Downers Grove North falls to them 3-1 yesterday afternoon. And then this morning, of course, Frem, a 2-0 loss for Frem. The Lincoln Way Knights moving on to what probably is the mythical national championship here, Mike.
That's right, Tom, because Edwardsville just recently was moved into the 17th spot in the national polls, and earlier in the year they played Lincoln Way, and they feel like they have an outstanding chance in this game.
We've got two great forwards, probably the two of the top forwards in the Midwest, if not the country. Ned Gravaboy for Lincoln Way Knights and Kramelmeyer for Edwardsville. They both can put the ball in the back of the net. It pretends to be a great night for soccer. We hope you're going to stay with us throughout the night. This is the IHSA Television Network.
In an emergency, only Country Company's insurance gives you immediate advice from a claims authority. Country Company's insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick.
Interesting. Coca-Cola or Pepsi-Cola? A paradox. While molecularly similar, they logically seem to offer two possibilities. Of course, you must invariably arrive at one and only one correct choice.
Duh!
A no-brainer.
To St. Charles High School. It's the 2000 version of the high school AA state championships. It'll be Edwardsville and Lincoln Way. Lincoln Way undefeated, coming off of a 26-0-2 record, while Edwardsville comes in 24-3-1. Good evening, I'm Tom Bonin, and Mike Garofalo's alongside with me. Boy, what a perfect night for soccer here in the western suburbs, Mike.
That's right, Tom. It's a great night. 2 years in a row we've had terrific weather, and I have a sense that this is going to be a terrific game too, huh?
Well, the teams are being introduced down in the field for all the fans here. A standing room only crowd here at St. Charles. The temperatures have been dropping since sunset, but boy, it's a beautiful night for soccer. I mean, considering the fact, Michael, that, you know, over the years, the weather the first week in November hasn't been what we've wished for.
No, I know. It's definitely been long underwear games, haven't it? But I think there's going to be some hot action tonight anyway. Two terrific teams.
Well, we've got a terrific crew out there. Tim Rieger will be in the center, Jim Mitchell on one of the lines, and Gene Mraz on the other line. So a good crew, a perfect night for soccer. Standing room only along the sidelines. All the photographers got their photo lenses out here. I think the house is filled with people that have come out to see the two All-Americans, Mike.
Absolutely. Everybody knows Ned Grabavoy from Lincoln Way, the under-17 national team captain, and Lee from Edwardsville, a player that many kids and families around here don't know, but they are going to know before the evening's up, and that is Luke Kremmelmeyer, and 35
he's a very
goals for the
special
senior.
talent.
Yes,
That's
he is.
right. Very special talent, very quick to the ball. He's going to put a lot of problems on the defense of Lincoln Way. And I think, Mike, when you talk about the keys to the game, Lincoln Way is going to probably come out charging very hard. You know, the question is, will Edwardsville be able to sustain against that onrush of attackers that Lincoln Way has put together?
Edwardsville has an experienced back line, seniors across the back, and I think they're going to match up very well with Lincoln Way. Aside from Kremmelmeyer, I think that he's got a nice supporting cast. They've got terrific speed on the flanks, and I think all the ingredients are there for a very tough, tight match.
Well, we're underway here at St. Charles. It's the 2000 version, the 29th state championship in the AA category. Bowden from Lincoln Way forces the ball out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Knights along the west side of the stadium near the fans. The field running north and south on the right to the south. Grabavoy puts the ball through. Doster running onto it and along the sideline. The ball will be knocked out, and it'll be a throw in for the Knights. Joe Ducci, number 7 for the Knights. Well, I'll correct that, as the lineman will indicate that that ball will be thrown in by the Tigers of Edwardsville.
Tom, one thing we might want to watch is earlier in the day when Lincoln Way beat Fremd, they man-marked Ned Grabavoy during the day and had pretty good success. Talking to the Edwardsville coach, Mark Heiderscheid, he said that he would not do that, and he'd stay with kind of his own defense. Didn't want to get out of the flow the way they've played in the entire year, and let's see what type of luck they have against Ned.
Well, that's a good sign there. The official indicating that the foul was given to Grabavoy. Grabavoy will put the ball in play about 35 yards out from the right post. He's deadly from this area. He's more deadly a little bit in further, but this is a reachable goal for him. In goal is Nate Gibson for the Tigers. Grabavoy puts it in play to the far post. Offside flag comes up, but the officials will indicate, yes, the offside flag went up. It looked like Doster was offside on the far side of the field. And that's Stephen Doster, number 9 for the Knights. And Gibson, Nate Gibson, the senior goalkeeper for the Tigers, will put the indirect free kick back in play. And we're here in the opening minutes. First 2 minutes of the ball game, of course, no score. Krupa drops it back. Craig Doster will knock it up on top, looking for Grabavoy, but it'll be brought outside by Garcia for the Tigers. Intercepted. Grabavoy keeps it in play, knocks it over the sideline. It'll be throw in for Edwardsville, right at the midline. The key to tonight's game, Mike, in the backfield is going to be Garcia, Gaylor, Mordier, and Luckett on the defensive line for the Tigers. Luckett now bringing the ball up. He'll chip it up on the far side. Along the near side of the stadium, that ball is out of bounds, and it'll be a throw in quickly.
You talked about Gaylor, Tom, and he's an all-state defender for the Tigers, and he'll probably stay in the middle of the back, keep things organized.
Ducci now with the ball, number 7 for the Knights. On the lateral run, puts it outside to the far side to Kemmerer. Or that's Richter, I'm sorry, number 23, Richter. The all-state player from Wyoming, and when you're Brian Pop and things are going for you, when you get somebody to move in the neighborhood, it happens to be an all-state defender from Wyoming, and that's the Richter lad, a fine player. Now Ducci trying to put a challenge on the defense. He wins the ball, knocks it off, and it'll be a throw in for the Knights. Along Bowden with the kick, it'll be off the shin and covered by Gibson. Gibson will have a punt. Here's the starting lineups for the Edwardsville Tigers. It's Gibson in goal. Molian at the midfield. Dawson, Winterbottom, Modier, and Kremmelmeyer, the All-American, along with Cooper, Warthen, Luckett, Gaylor, and Velasquez.
Ploskin, a sophomore, one of the two sophomores that Tigers coach.
Bowden on the run now. He's got the ball, passes it at the far post. No one's there as it's headed away by the Tigers. Krupa now puts the ball back in play at the far post. He's got Grabavoy off his head over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Tigers. So in the first opening minutes here, the first 4 minutes of the ball game, the Knights of Lincoln Way, with undefeated season, #1 in the nation, putting the pressure on immediately on the Edwardville Tiger. Easy for me to say, right?
It's going to be very difficult to say.
Too many syllables in these hometowns. We're going to make it simpler.
We'll stay with the Tigers, huh?
All right.
Yeah, Lincoln Way is pushing forward, Tom, and I'm sure they'd love to get an early goal against Fremd in the...
Grabavoy now on the possession, looking for Ducci. Slides it inside. Ducci on the run. Beautiful play across on the tackle of number 15, Chris Garcia, the 5'10 sophomore. And Ducci will have a throw in from the sideline.
Here's Lincoln Way's lineup.
Corner kick for Ducci. Here's the lineup for Lincoln Way. Richards in goal, Bowden, Doster, Ducci, Pickle, Doster, Krupa, Grabavoy, Topilik, Brown, and Kammerer. A lot of seniors on the Lincoln Way team. These are lads that have played together for many years, not only on the high school level, but on the club level. We'll have a chance to talk about that throughout the evening because both of these teams are loaded with respective club players. For Edwardsville, it's the Metro FC from just outside the St. Louis area. They're one of the top clubs in the Midwest. And, of course, the Lincoln Way Knights hosting a myriad of Chicago Magic players, one of the best clubs in the country, arguably.
Right.
Topilik now slides it up front. Into Grabavoy, trying to make a turn. Drops it off to Brown. Brown trying to find space. Back to Grabavoy, intercepted. On the turnaround. As the defense drops back. Veloskian with a weak shot across the goal. That one's going to go over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for the Lincoln Way Knights.
I was saying before, Tom, that Coach Heiderscheid was saying that he starts two sophomores up top from time to time and has had a lot of success with them. And I think we'll see both of them tonight.
The scoring tandem for Edwardsville is going to be Cooper, Adam Cooper, the 5'10 senior, and Bellascon, Jesus Bellascon, the 5'8 senior. Two seniors up front. Now Doster puts the ball in play. It'll come in the midline. Bowden up as Krupa gathers it in. A giveaway pass there as the Tigers will try to put it through on the slide pass. Bellascon crosses it into the box and headed over is Kremelmeyer, number 10. That's the young lad to keep your eyes on. He's the All-American for Edwardsville. 35 goals on the season. And he's their go-to. He comes out of an attacking midfield position, is up front as soon as they gain possession. Otherwise, he's falling back into the midfield. And Greg Doster will have another opportunity to give us a goal kick.
And Tom, you and I talked to Kremelmeyer after their game earlier in the day. And he's a quiet kid. Remember, we asked him what his success was this year, and he said he had a lot of help.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, that's the beauty of the game, is that
nice
you know, it takes outstanding players on both teams, but it does take a team. And of course, both of these teams pretty deep off the bench, and we'll talk about that as the game wears on, as both coaches will go deep into their benches in order to give everybody a welcome rest. Since this is the third game that these boys have been playing in a 24-hour period. Grabavoy now slides it across. Trying intended for Krupa. It's knocked away. And the foul is called on Krupa. It'll be a free kick as Kremelmeyer will put it in play. Demelian now makes a long, high cross to the far side of the field. And it's saved as the Tigers maintain possession. Now back in the center, top of the circle. Sliding in, coming in, a shot wide of the left post, and that was number 3, Steve Demoulian.
Demoulian, I believe, scored the game winner in that overtime win over Boylan just before the second overtime was over, and everybody was preparing for the shootout. He put the ball in the net, and they came away with a victory.
So Doster, the younger brother of Steve Doster, number 9. Doster heads it away, loses possession now. The Tigers at the top of the circle.
Kremlmeyer can't do much with it, drops it back as Doster throws it away. Krupa now collects the ball. Looking for Gravelboy. Gravelboy one touches it to Steve Doster. Doster puts it over the top, trying to find a run. It'll be headed back to the goalkeeper Gibson, who will put it back into play with a punt. Brown heads it back, looking for Gravelboy. Doster now collects the ball, chests it down, gets control, drops it back. Ducci now looking for Gravelboy, puts it over the top at the top of the 18, and Gibson will come out and smother the ball. About 10 minutes into the ball game here. A beautiful night for soccer. A little chilly for the fans, but perfect conditions for the players on the field and the officials.
You know, Tom, you spoke earlier about these teams playing 3 games in quite literally 72 hours. Do you think it'll affect either one of these teams? They're both very deep, talent-wise, huh?
Well, they're all club players. They play all year round, so most of them are very fit. You know, players like Kremlmeyer and Gravelboy, Dosters, Ducci, all of them play on either regional teams or national teams. So as soon as this high school season is over, they'll be playing for, you know, representing the United States in different competitions across the country. So they're very fit. They have no problem going 80 minutes in a high school game.
Well, and I don't think either team really has an advantage or a disadvantage because they both played about the same in their other 2 games.
Now the Tigers are collected back in their own box as Gibson comes across, picks it up under pressure from Gravelboy. I'll tell you, Gravelboy just doesn't give you any. He's relentless out there, runs and challenges every ball. Gibson's punt will clear the midline. Krupa heads it up into the air. And the play, how would you describe the play at this point, Mike? I mean, it's kind of back and forth, a lot of very direct passes, you know, over-the-top passes, nothing, not the kind of skill that everybody was expecting, you know, where the teams are able to put together passes.
No, I've got to believe that, you know, each team is going to try and figure each other out a little bit, see what they can do, attack here and there, and maybe play it close to the best. It looked like Lincoln Way early on was pushing hard to get a goal, but not that either team wouldn't want one of those, of course. But I think we're going to see kind of a tight match here for just a little bit. You know, all things considered equal, we saw earlier in the day, Tom, where Greg Doster provided some terrific serves off the free kick, and in fact that's how they got their first goal against Fremd. So if this match stays close, we'll have to watch for the dead ball plays, I think, don't you?
Gibson, exactly. Gibson Bowden now in the back of his circle up to Doster. Doster tries to collect it down, can't win the ball away from Wharton. Looking for Cooper outside as younger Doster puts it into the stands on the east side of the stadium. Throw in for the Tigers on the far side of the field. Of course, both teams sitting side by side on the east side of the stadium there. Lincoln Way white with the black trim. In the box now, the ball cleared, and that'll be cleared out there easily by Richter. Luckett now for the Tigers. Puts it across outside. Topilik trying to retain possession. The flow of the game just kind of bogging down here as neither team can put together enough passes. Now at the top of the circle, there's a shot. It's in, a goal. What a splendid goal as the Tigers strike in the 12th, 13th minute of the ball game. And Richards just couldn't do much for the Lincoln Way Knights, and a brilliant goal.
Spectacular hit, Tom. Just outside the box, it appeared.
Kremlmeyer, number 10, with a brilliant strike at the top of the 18. And the fans from Edwardsville have a lot to cheer about. The 13th minute of the ball game, and Edwardsville is up 1-0 over Lincoln Way. So just when we're talking about stringing passes together, Lincoln Way, their defense just doesn't close in on Kremlmeyer. You only give him a couple steps. He rips a shot from the top of the 18, and suddenly we've got a score here.
Just a great shot in the upper corner. We're going to see it now. Left foot. And you know, like you said, Richards, no chance. Gave it the dive, but that ball had too much pace. and he hit it so well. And you're right, he had too much space. Lincoln Way just didn't close down on him, and there's a reason he's got 36 goals on the season. And a true finisher he is.
Well, I get a feeling that tonight is not going to be one of those defensive struggles that people have become accustomed to in the state finals. It's going to be a wide open game.
Well, maybe that goal will open it up a little bit. Now, obviously, a little bit more urgency in Lincoln Way's game, I would suspect.
And Wolton, number 12, would be credited with the assist on that goal. The goal coming at the 13th minute, 12:24 of the opening half here. Our score 1-0 in favor of Edwardsville.
Now, one thing we haven't seen, Tom, yet, again, and I have to refer back to the game we saw earlier, is Nick Bowden, number 3 on Lincoln Way, was pushing forward a lot more from his stopper position and added, that extra number in the attack. And we haven't seen him push forward yet, have we?
Ducci pushed off the ball. The foul's called, and the Knights will have a free kick at just outside their 18-yard area. Well, a beautifully struck ball by Kremlmeyer just gives the Tigers the one opportunity they needed, and they made the most of it. Bowden now will have a free kick from behind his midline. Looking for Gravovoy. Instead, he'll cross it to the far side. Tepilik now trying to put it inside, cannot do it as the pass is intercepted by the defender. Knights with a throw in, far side of the field, drops it off to Krupa. Krupa trying to gain possession, knock back, and it'll be a foot race to the ball. Brown, number 20, will win the race. Knocks it over to Finkel. Ducci, one touches it to Bowden. Bowden with space now at the midline, looking to the far side. Instead tries to thread it through to Gravovoy, and it's unsuccessful as it's cleared away by the Tigers. Lincoln Way back with possession, looking for Gravovoy at the top of the box. He touches it and loses possession.
And there's that long serve that we just talked about a few minutes ago from Doster. It's very accurate with that left foot. He can target his people up front well and
Steve
put the ball
Doster
where he
now
wants.
dancing, and he's knocked down. The foul called. It'll be a free kick, and boy, this is exactly the range where Gravovoy is so dangerous on the left post. He's got a great ball that fades over the, not only goes over, curls over the wall, but comes in with a lot of movement. So from usually from right to left. So this will be a tough play for Gibson, the goalkeeper.
And this is a good place for him to strike.
A great opportunity for Gravovoy, who probably may be one of the best free kick specialists in the country. He's the captain of the U.S. national U18 men's team. He's looking at all the major colleges across the country. We'll talk about that later on in the broadcast, but every school in the country would love to have the young man playing soccer for them. Here's the shot, just over the crossbar. Gibson looked like he had very good position on it, a little bit high, and I'm sure Gravovoy would like to have that one back.
Well, the Tigers are going to have to be careful. They cannot give up too many of those, because sooner or later Gravovoy will exploit that and put it in the back of the net.
Now Gibson with the goal kick. Low line drive kick. Doster to Bowden. Bowden, the top of his circle, taken away, and the foul is called on Worthen. Edwardsville called for their 7th foul, only 1 for Lincoln Way, so they're playing very aggressive. That's what you have to do, and it resulted in a great opportunity for Kremlmeyer, and he only needed that one touch to put it away and lead 1-0 here. 29 minutes left in the first half. Cleared out. Doster now will collect it at the back of the circle. Puts it over the top, looking for Brown. Krupa. Through ball, looking for Gravovoy. Gibson has no problem with it, an easy catch, and we'll see a punt by the big goalkeeper for Edwardsville.
And he's an impressive one too, isn't he, Tom? We, obviously our first look at him this year, but he's terrific.
You're
off
saying
his line.
that because you like his haircut, don't you?
I wish I had that much hair to like that haircut. He's a great keeper and very good off his line. Seems to read the game very well. And his coach said, he's so capable of making spectacular saves, and maybe he'll have to tonight, and it could be a game saver.
There's a through ball to Gravovoy. The player's looking for a handball call, none given. Kemmerer drops it back. Looking for Tepilik. Tepilik now with the cross, trying to get it into Gravovoy. It's headed away as he's surrounded by black shirts from Edwardsville. Kruppen out. Can't corral it. Greg Doster puts it up and high, looking for Bowden. Bowden heads it across up to Gravovoy, and beautifully played out by number 16 Gaylor.
Gaylor's keeping his back line organized. They're doing a nice job of keeping all the play in front of them and keeping their space. And Lincoln Way will have to find ways to attack it. Maybe spread it out, some quick switches, and do some things like that. They've got the talent to do it. And they're not going to panic either. They're too experienced.
Well, this is a long throw. Doster, well known for his long throws. He can put it on the far post. This one's going to go to the far post to his brother Steve, and is cleared off the back line. The putback looking for Krupa, can't find him, and now it's a foot race. Tepilik racing onto it. Funkel, good man marking as he'll get double help on the double team. Splits the defenders. What a marvelous bit of footwork there. Gravel boy. I'm sorry, that's Doster now. Doster puts it back looking for Ducci. Ducci one touches it ahead looking for Doster. Can't get there in time for the header. Cooper wins the header. He'll volley it up looking for Ducci on the far side. He's going to run out of real estate, and that ball will go out of bounds. It'll be a throw in for the Tigers along the west side of the stadium here.
Tom, earlier in the year, these two teams met at the Downers Grove tournament, and Ned Grabavoy came to that game a bit late. He was over in Germany playing and flew in and showed up. Brian Papa, his coach, didn't even know he was going to be there, actually. And but Lincoln Way had the better side of it for the first 20-25 minutes, and then Edwardsville came back. The game eventually went to shootout, and the Tigers won. I'm not going to try and say Edwardsville.
Yeah, right. In PK's right.
That's right. So no secrets here, and I think no advantage for them playing before.
Well, both the teams have matured well during the season. I mean, and have learned to play with each other. Perhaps a little bit of an advantage for the Edwardsville group because they all play in the same club, although they do play with different teams. Mm-hmm. But the players are well known to each other.
And their coach told me that there's plenty more on the way from that same club.
Oh, I can imagine. Mm-hmm. Well, Dale Schilly, our good friend down there in the Edwardsville area, does a great job with the Metro FC. They're one of the top clubs in the entire Midwest, if not in the country. Mm-hmm. And we'll have a goal kick for the Knights. And here's a couple of school facts for you. Edwardsville in Glen Carbon, Madison. Enrollment 2,160. I didn't know they were that large. No, that's a lot of kids down there.
Soccer-rich area, though, isn't it? It's been Edwardsville and Granite City and Collinsville. And Granite City was eliminated early on in the tournament this year. So,
well, it's a hotbed for soccer anywhere around that St. Louis area. As the Knights try to gain possession. Now Doster will put it outside to Tepilik. Trying to slide it through. Kammerer now racing to the goal line. Can he reach it? Now it goes out over the goal line, and it'll be a goal kick for the Tigers. Gibson will put this one back in play. Gibson, 5'11", 175-pounders. And here's the facts about Lincoln Way.
Down your way a little bit.
Maltina on the far south side. Enrollment 4,682. Of course, that school will be dividing next year, so they divide that number in half. They're a sicker member, and can see the officials who have been very supportive of their soccer program and all their athletic programs there. Ducci now in the box, crosses it to Grabavoy. Grabavoy, nope, take that back. Can't make the touch. As Ducci made a beautiful crossing pass there. And it was Boussier, number 15, into the ball game now. Came into the midfield. I believe he came in for Krupa on that last exchange. So Kurt Krupa suffering from a very deep leg bruise. He sat out the second half of the ball game this morning.
Coach Papa was hoping to give him some rest and have him available for tonight.
Now Greg Doster puts it in play, looking for Boussier. Drops it back to Brown. That's it.
Boussier was one of the players that Brian Papa talked about after their win earlier today against Fremd. He was very happy with his performance, and he should be. He gave him some great minutes out there.
Gibson with another goal kick. Boy, he's had about 15 punts today. Boussier trying to find Doster, drops it all the way across the field to Richter. On a strike, that's Richter, yeah. A give-up pass as Brown gives it away. Misses the tackle. As the Tigers mount another attack. This one's going to go off of Lincoln Way. It'll be a throw-in on the far side of the field for the Tigers. Tigers stringing passes together. Puts it inside. Kremmelmeyer now makes his turn at the top of the 18. Ball knocked away by Doster. Trying to look for Gravelboy. Can't find him. Richter now up to Bowden. Bowden will bring it under control. Looking for Gravelboy. Can't find him as he gives it back to the Tigers. Richter. Moulin can't do much with it. Bowden now, number 3 for the Knights. Through ball looking for Ducci. Ducci in the box. Well defended by the Tigers, and that'll go for a corner kick for the Knights. And on this corner kick, what kind of thing are you going to expect on this? Ducci's been very accurate with his crosses, Mike, all night.
Well, I think they may go far post here, see if they can get something up in the air, and
yeah, they're bringing number 20 Brown up, and they've got Bowden at the far side, at the far post. So a lot of height up there. Low driven ball.
Shows you what I know, huh?
Gravelboy trying to gain control, loses it. Balaskan knocks it off the side, and he'll knock it out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for the Knights. Doster now. Steve Doster, the senior, plays on the U.S. regional team for the United States. Here in the Midwest, has been playing on there for about 4 years with Coach Mike Makovich from the Magic. And he's one of those highly sought-after Illinois players who are quite versatile, play a lot of different positions on the college level. And he's heard from just about every college in the Midwest, I might add. Now Brown corrals the ball, looking for the long cross to the far side to Depelic on the far side of the field. Inside now looking for Bussiere as he loses possession. The Tigers trying to come back. Kremmelmeyer slides it through. Back to Kremmelmeyer at the top of the 18, foot dragged away, and Doster will clear it out to Bowden. Back to Doster. Drops it off to Bowden. Bowden now looking for Gravelboy. Gravelboy trying to make a turn. Left foot. Outside to Kammerer. Turns on the Jets. And the ball's going to go, well, they keep it in bounds. Nice play. Bussiere will bring it back. Looking the far post at Ducci. Gravelboy. Dribbling. Drops it off. Nope, keeps it. Turns back. He's double teamed in the box. Doesn't want to do anything with it. Leaves it off, and it's cleared out nicely by the Tigers. As Cooper fighting for the ball on the far side of the field against Depelic. And the foul's going to be called against the Knights. It'll be a free kick for the Tigers. Our score 1-0. 14 minutes, 22 seconds remaining here in the first half. In what has been, you might be calling this a defensive game between these two teams, Mike.
Yeah, the Tigers are doing a lot of nice things well. Their flanks are running back and tracking very well, and their forwards up front, I think, are putting in some good work ethic. They're running hard back there, and they're challenging the defenders to make a mistake, and they've had some turnovers from that, and then they've turned around and countered on it a little bit. So right now, I think they're getting a better work rate from front to back.
Luckett will collect the ball for the Tigers. Knocks it ahead. Bowden intercepts the pass. Looking for Doster. Doster toe pokes it ahead to Gravelboy. He loses possession as Bowden comes across. Can't win it. Bussiere now will try to put it outside to Kemmerer. Incomplete pass there as it's driven ahead. Trying to clear the central zone. Greg Doster fights for the ball, and foul's going to be given. The free kick for the Tigers.
And there's Cooper again. He's doing a good job up top. Get a nice tackle, collect the ball.
Paulette now resets the ball. Try to get a cross up. He's inside the 18. Kemmerer with the defense and drives the ball over the goal line. It'll be a goal kick for Lincoln Way. Now, one of the things that's interesting is that the defender here, rather than the goalkeeper, Mike, the defender Doster will take it, as we see a number of substitutions coming in here with 12 minutes remaining in the first half. Our score 1-0 in favor of Edwardsville on a brilliantly taken kick by Kremmelmeyer. They're all American.
Their only shot of the half so far. Good percentage, huh? 1 for 1.
Back in the 13th minute, so a lot of possession time for Lincoln Way, but they really just haven't had any shots on goal. They really, the defense has been dropping. They've been playing a flat back four.
Well, I don't know if it's been real serious possession either. Would you say, Tom?
Well, they're giving them possession up until the top of the 18, and then they're closing down on double teams. They're very effective. I mean, a great executed defense. As that ball's cleared out by Brown, it'll be a throw-in along the near side of the field. Dawson for the Tigers. Is that going to go off his head? It'll be another goal kick for the Knights.
Well, Tom, you've seen Lincoln Way certainly more than I have this year. Any surprises right now that you've seen from them?
No, this is a team, Mike, that's not going to panic. I mean, they've been in a lot of big games. I mean, I've covered some of these youngsters for the last 5-6 years. They played in national tournaments. They played in national championship tournaments. So we could see the fine young coach from Edwardsville. His first year, 9 years as an assistant.
Yep.
This is his first year, and he's got a whale of a team and a lot of great prospects for the years ahead. Brown now will try to collect it outside to Richter. Richter, number 23 for the Knights. Looking for a passing lane, slides it into Doster. Doster double team, wins the ball, knocked away by Demoulian. Kremmelmeyer now tries to push it ahead. Knocked away off of Matthews' leg, and it'll be picked up outside by Tepilik. Tepilik brings it up. Outside now, dances free along the left side of the field. Inside to Kammerer. I'm sorry, that's Whiteclaw now into the ball game on that last turnover. As Whiteclaw, the sophomore, Boussier trying to win the ball now. Brown steps up, and the foul's going to be given. It'll be for a free kick for the Knights, just at the top of their own circle. And Doster will pick up. This is one of those plays. Doster is very accurate on this. They'll run right from the top of the 18 as long as they can maintain the offside. This is a tough call for the lineman because he's got to watch the players and watch the play.
He'll target somebody up top.
Near post going to his brother Steve. Looks like it's off the head of a defender, and it'll be a throw-in from the far side. Nice play there along the back post by Pellet, number six.
And what he did so well there, obviously he didn't have the height with all the other big boys there from Lincoln Way, but he was the first one up.
Now be a throw in by Doster, who can see the number of fouls. Edwardsville, 10 fouls, very active and defensive. They're being aggressive on the defense. Now Gibson high in the air, the ball knocked off his hands, no foul. It's going to be off the hands of the goalkeeper. Good by the official there as he saw the play. No call, no foul on the play. And Krupa in the ball game, he'll be making the corner kick for the Lincoln Way Knights from the far corner of the field. As the fans start stomping on the metal stands here in St. Charles. Gibson out all off his line, knocks the ball loose, almost steps out of the box, but gains his composure just in time.
Kind of tiptoed along the top of the box.
Gibson now with another punt. Boy, he's had 15, I think, this half alone.
That was an aggressive challenge by him, though, to get out there and punch that inward swing.
Well, what happens the next time he does that? I mean, that's the one where Krupa or Ducci will try to curl it in on the near post. If they see him coming off that line repeatedly.
Well, he's going to have to hope that the two posts are guarded by his own men, huh?
Exactly. Yep. Now Gravaboy trying to cause problems defensively. Tepilik now cover the ball. Tepilik with possession, looking inside to Boussier. Again, a lot of direct through balls by Edwardsville, not really trying to maintain possession through the midfield. It'll be a throw-in on the far side of the field. Number 13, Lantner.
What they are doing, though, is, playing that ball up and over the top and down to the end line. They're forcing Lincoln Way to make a good play. And on several occasions, they've had some turnarounds.
Kremmelmeyer with a shot that's going to go over the end line, and it'll be a goal kick. Well, they're going to call a corner kick on that. Must have hit off of the defender.
Very quick feet by the All-American.
7 minutes, 55 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Quick first half, huh, Tom?
Well, there haven't been many stoppages, a few possession changes, a few substitutions. Up in the air, Kremmelmeyer shot through, cleared off by Steve Doster, and a foul's going to be called.
Terrific crowd here tonight, Tom. Lincoln Way on that first day brought 22 buses.
Yes.
And just loaded up the stands, and I think they had close to 3,000 people in that first session, which is just a great number. It was a nice day.
Greg Doster will put it in play now. The ball easily cleared the midline. Boussier heads it away. Kremmelmeyer trying to find a through ball outside the Matthews. Giving it up to Krupa now. Krupa trying to find a passing lane. Can't find anybody in there. Taken back. Pele outside to Beliscan, and it'll be a corner kick for the Tigers. 6:46 remaining here in the first half, and a classic matchup, the mythical national championship for Lincoln Way on the line here. A lot of soccer time left in the ball game. Up in the air, high over the bar. It'll be a goal kick for the Knights as Bowden comes back into the ball game and Ducci comes into the ball game. Greg Doster will tee it up on the top of the 6-yard box, and here we can see a soccer fact for you. Illinois State soccer since 1972, 36 schools. This year, 360. You can see the division there. Boy, I tell you, and there's some great schools. The level of soccer just tremendously increasing, both the not only the number of players, but boy, I tell you, Illinois has become such a hotbed for the college recruiting game.
It has.
You know, the last 5 years we've seen tremendous strides on the club level. National championships won by the Chicago Magic. 3 teams from the Illinois area at the national finals this year down in Orlando.
And that Class A tournament that's going on simultaneously now down in Edwardsville.
Gravovoy trying to penetrate the defense, drops it off. Bowden now with the ball. Cleared off by Kremmelmeyer, and it'll be a throw-in on the far side of the field as Boussier will make the throw. No, they'll leave it down there for Doster. Doster can make this long throw somewhere at the top of the arc, and so they'll line up. They'll bring Brown all the way up into the top of the 18 with Bowden in the arc. And Doster can throw this ball about 45 to 50 yards in the air. He's only a junior. Here's the throw. Into the 18-yard area, headed away to the far side. Bowden brings it down, lays it off to Krupa. Krupa with the shot, just outside wide. It'll be a goal kick for the Tigers. Gibson will tee it up.
That's been one of Lincoln Way's best weapons this first half, has been those long throws and the dead balls and the serves from Doster. But other than that, though, really, Tom, they haven't created or initiated any really good quality scoring chances, though, have they?
A good defensive stand here by the Tigers. Their defense has been solid. They've taken away a lot of the penetration opportunities by Gravovoy. Now up on the far side, Whiteclaw trying to find some space to run on as the Tigers regain possession. Pellet drops it off. Kremmelmeyer tries to hit a through ball to Matthews. This one will go over the sideline. It'll be a throw-in for the Knights on the far side of the field. 4 minutes, 20 seconds remaining here in the first half. Our score 1-0 in favor of Edwardsville. The winner will be crowned after this game and may well move up in the rankings. Would it be Edwardsville in the national rankings? Now on the far side, Boussier trying to find possession, looking for Ducci. Ducci tries to make the turn in the arc, cleared away nicely. Brown can't get possession. Outside to Krupa. Krupa drops it back. Looking for Doster. Now Brown with the ball out to Ducci. Ducci heads it away, and it's cleared off to the near side of the field. Save. Beautiful save by Edwardsville. Krupa off the shin of the defender, and it'll be a throw-in for the Knights as Greg Doster will come to the near side of the field with 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in the first half.
Looks like Brian Papa has Gravovoy a little bit more withdrawn right now here in the last couple of minutes.
Dropping him back into the midfield a little bit, give him a little more space and force the defense to come out. Probably a good tactical move.
Well, he hasn't had enough touches in the first half.
Doster now with the long throw-in, near post to Ducci. Gibson up, drops the ball right in front of Ducci, but he covers it quickly. Nice play by Gibson to take away what might have been a good opportunity. And the foul was given there, and it'll be a free kick for Gibson with under 3 minutes remaining here in the first half. Gravovoy to Ducci. Ducci collects it, tries to find Gravovoy. He's double teamed, the ball knocked away. Whiteclaw Trying to get the ball up on a cross, looking for Ducci, headed away, cleared by the defense. Put back in play by Bussiere, now Ducci, one-on-one in the corner. Trying to set up his defender as the second defender comes in. He's double teamed, trying to find space. He'll get the cross up at the near post and knocked away on a low cross. Not much of a dangerous play there as Ducci really outmanned in the corner as Greg Doster puts it up to Krupa now. And the linesman has the flag up for the injury, but nobody's going to be called. Doster now off the line. We have an injured player down on the field against the goal line for Edwardsville. The officials are, I'm not sure what the officials are going to do, Mike. I got a feeling they're going to have to give the ball back to...
well, they have to, and certainly Lincoln Way was
kind of a strange call there to stop the play. I mean, the ball was in harm's way, and the whistle was blown.
Potential advantage, though, taken away from him. When you think, though, Tom?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm sure the player is, not only is he injured, he'll have to leave the field, but it might be a blood situation where he has to leave the field because of the injury. But this is a strange situation. You know, maybe we'll get some clarification from one of our other coaches at halftime, but it would seem to me that the play should have been allowed to continue until there was no advantage. Clearly, Lincoln Way had the advantage there. As we can see, Doster standing over the ball along with Gravelboy. Clock down to under 2 minutes now.
Well, I think the sideline referee did have his flag up early enough. I'm not sure if the man in the middle saw it. Prior to that whole situation, they could have averted some of the confusion and that advantage.
Well, in soccer, unlike other sports, there really is no injury timeout. I mean, the ball's played. Now Gravelboy in a very precarious opportunity here for the All-American.
They'll get 4 in that wall.
And certain to be, you know, Mr. Illinois soccer this year again, as he was named last year as a junior. And now Ducci will come over. Gravelboy, a dangerous opportunity here for Gravelboy. Puts it far post, looking for Doster. Cleared away. Richter now trying to collect it. He'll drop it back to Doster. No, he'll maintain possession. Oh, fumbles the ball there. On the through ball, put through as Matthews comes through, and a save by Richards as the ball is going to go off Richards over the goal line. It'll be a corner kick for the Tigers, and a bad play there by Richards. No, it's not going to be a corner kick. I guess they're saying it was a foul. Perhaps no, it's at the top of the 6. So no touch by Richards.
Actually, Richards he was at a point of no return. He had to come once he left his line, and may have gotten a little lucky there. But he really did create a quick shot, one that I'm sure he didn't want to make.
Kremmelmeyer puts it through. Doster now on the return, trying to clear the zone as the Lincoln Way trying to get reorganized here with the clock ticking down. 1:04 remaining here in the first half. Lincoln Way was asking for the foul there. Why there wasn't a foul called on Gravelboy as his shirt was pulled down. He lost possession, but they play on. Doster now. They'll let that roll out to Richards, the goalkeeper, and he'll be able to put it back in play. 45 seconds remaining here in the first half. Our score 1-0 in favor of the Tigers from Edwardsville. The top 2 teams in the state of Illinois vying for the AA championship. Bussiere outside now to Whiteclaw. Whiteclaw trying to come across. Gravelboy one-on-one trying to find space. Puts it out. Krupa inside trying to find Gravelboy. Can't do it. Clock ticking down. 20 seconds to Gravelboy as he comes through, and a nice play by Gibson coming off his line quickly as Gravelboy found the seam in the defense, but the ball couldn't be delivered as we're counting down the final 10 seconds here of the first half.
Nice play by Andy Dawson there too to run Gravelboy off the play.
And that's going to end the first half of action here at St. Charles High School. It's the 2000 version of the AA State Championship. Edwardsville leads at halftime 1-0 over the Lincoln Way Knights. We'll be back with exciting second half action in just a few minutes. This is your Illinois IHSA's television network. Well, it's halftime here in St. Charles, and we're joined by the veteran coach from Conant High School, Tony Keys. Tony, you know, an exciting first half, a little bit tentative on both teams, I think, in terms of setting up their offense. What's your thoughts?
I felt the same thing. I thought very much a chess match. Not too many scoring chances either way. Lincoln Way, I thought, created some chances on the dead ball. And, of course, Ned's dangerous from just about anywhere. And I counted 2 pretty good scoring chances for Edwardsville. One early in the match off the corner of the 6th, which they hit wide. And then, of course, the smashing goal by Kremmelmeyer, phenomenal.
A phenomenal shot, you know, all-American shot, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely, just top shelf, top-class goal.
Yeah.
And Tony, you talked before the game about Edwardsville defense, a little bit like yours with the flat back. Talk about that a little bit and tell us how that's worked to their advantage in stopping Lincoln Way.
Well, like you alluded to earlier in the telecast, they weren't going to pay special attention to Ned. They were going to keep their zonal alignment and let them sort it out that way. And it's worked so far. Ned hasn't been a real major factor aside from dead balls. And so if you're Edwardsville, I think you got to keep along with what you're doing. And you know, Edwardsville has impressed me a lot. You know, I haven't seen them play this year, but they're a top-flight team, obviously.
We're going to take a timeout, and we'll be back with more Coach's Corner here at halftime. This is the IHSA TV network.
Yep.
There's our halftime stats for the Lincoln Way. It's 4 shots on goal, no saves, corner kicks 3. Looking at Evansville, you can see the shots on goal 7. They had the better part of the play. But the possession in the second half, Mike, or the first half, pretty much Edwardsville gave it up. I mean, it was really Lincoln Way who possessed the ball after that goal. They had the better part of the play.
Yeah, I think what Edwardsville did most anything than possession was they attempted to spread the Lincoln Way defense, you know, putting some balls into the corner, some quick switches, that type of thing. And, you know, I think it worked from time to time. Lincoln Way was a little disorganized in the back. We'll see now, perhaps, if Edwardsville plays a little more possession here in the second game, and second half, I should say, and maybe try and get that second goal.
Lincoln Way in the white, they'll be moving from right to left on your screen, shooting at the north goal. Bowden now drops it outside to Richter. Richter finds some open space. Doster now, number 9, with the cross, looking for Gravovoy, can't find him. Now Bowden with the rebound. He's inside the 18, tries to force it through, and ball is knocked off the leg of Gravovoy. It'll be a goal kick for Gibson and the Tigers.
Lincoln Way's come out here the second half, and they have Gravovoy in the middle, just as he was the last 5 minutes of the half. And it's kind of interesting because Brian Papa told us earlier in the day that he started him out as a midfielder sometime last year, and then moved him up front and made him look brilliant as a coach because he scored 80 goals in about 30 matches. So I'd be interested to see why he actually did move Ned back, because Ned does score.
Ducci now with the ball, trying to dribble, lays it off to Krupa. Krupa, Krupa trying to fight for the ball. Kapilek drops it off to Bowden. Bowden, no pressure, tries to find the true ball to Gravovoy. Knocked offside to Ducci. Ducci with a shot at near post. Oh, a tremendous save by Gibson. That ball was just inside the post.
He had that post covered, though, very well, though, Tom. He reads the game very well.
Yeah, a great play as Ducci quick to release on the shot, but Gibson equal to the task as he covers that the left post. Cooper tries to dribble, loses it. Now Cooper back on the possession. Kremmelmeyer on the give and go is knocked away. That's Krupa stepping in front of Kremmelmeyer. We can see the score of the third place game, Wabansie Valley 3-2 in a shootout, and what a spectacular shootout, Mike.
Yeah, it was, and actually a very spirited game for a third place game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, Frem had the misfortune of meeting up with Lincoln Way in the semifinals. A well-played game. They came out on the short end 2-0, but a very fine team, some excellent players, and Steve Keller's got to be proud of the youngsters, but you know, it wasn't to be for them.
No, they had a terrific season, though, and had a tough road on the way to the Elite Eight. So congratulations, Steve, and of course Wabansie Valley come away with that third place trophy.
A foul on Lincoln Way. It'll be a free kick for the Tigers. just outside the 18-yard area. Gibson back in his goal as the ball's put in play, trying to find upside for Cooper. Cooper can't collect it. Intercepted by Krupa. Krupa looking upside for Doster. Doster drops it off to Gravovoy. Gravovoy looking for Ducci outside the 18-yard area, collects it up in the corner, one-on-one for Ducci. Ducci dukes, dives, and that one's going to be knocked out over the end line, and it's off the defender, so it's going to be a corner kick for Lincoln Way. Boy, what a play by Ducci to fight off 3 defenders and earn a corner kick.
Yeah, now Ducci didn't play a whole lot in that game against Fremd because once they went up 1-0, Brian Papa wanted to play more defensively, and he took him out. But he needs him in there now to help score this equalizer.
Krupa now with the corner kick as Doster at the far post. Near post to Bowden. He'll collect it up, drops it off to Gravovoy. Gravovoy from the top of the 18, shot on the left post. No, it's wide. As Gibson was there, but the shot just a little bit wide, about 2 feet wide of the post, and Gibson will put it in play with another goal kick. So a nice opportunity there for Gravovoy and the Knights, but the shot a little bit wide. And here in the first 4 minutes of the second half, the Lincoln Way Knights really pulling out all the stops, trying to get people forward with Doster up in the top now at number 9. Pressure by Brown as he loses the ball. Now Bowden collects it at the midline, looking for Doster. Doster collects it, drops it off to Krupa. Krupa's got Gravovoy on the left side, delivers the ball out left to Gravovoy. Gravovoy lays it off to Ducci. Ducci with a quick release into the 18-yard area right at Gibson. He'll collect it up easily. Looked like Doster was trying to make a run, ran into one of the Tigers and never was able to complete that run. As Gibson's punt will go out of bounds. It'll be an opportunistic throw in here to Pelik now for the Knights. Gravovoy trying to fight through 2 defenders, loses possession. The ball's cleared up. Brown can't collect it. Richter throws top to Bowden. Bowden looking for Kammerer outside. He's got Kammerer, instead goes up top to Doster. Luckett puts it up. Bowden collects it. Toe trap by Bowden. Outside to Kammerer. Double team, triple team, lays the ball down along the line, and it's going to be knocked out over the touchline. It'll be a throw in for Lincoln Way. Lincoln Way very impressive here the first 5 minutes, Mike, with the possession. They've been patient, and they've been able to collect the ball, make some very nice opportunities offensively.
They have, and they're creating a lot of deep throws and 1 or 2 corner kicks, and sooner or later that stuff catches up to you. So
they'll bring up their specialist, Greg Doster, number 5, the junior, the younger brother of Steve. Steve now at the far post looking at his brother's throw, and here it comes near post, and Gibson with a nice jump there takes that ball right out of the air before it can get to the back post.
A lot of pace on that throw, but over his man and the save, the catch.
To Pelik now, knocked off the ball by Matthews. And a foul called. It's going to be given a foul against Lincoln Way. It'll be a free kick for Edwardsville.
Edwardsville needs to find their game now, too. They've got to get everybody involved, knock it around a little bit, and play a little possession. Get a better feel for the game right now.
Modeer now will take the free kick. Puts it inside the 18. Kremmelmeyer can't control it as he tried to back heel pass. The ball's cleared out over the midline and collected up by Luckett in the center of the field. Now Luckett into the circle. Looks for the through pass wide outside to the left side. Unmarked out there is Demulian as he dribbles across into the 18, tries to split the defenders and dives into the ground. No card or no foul on that. Richter now on the defense as the ball goes out, and it's off the post. Free ball knocked in. What a play.
A tremendous goal.
An outstanding goal. A ball looked like it was over the end line. There was no whistle on the play. The Tigers continue playing, and boy, that ball just bounced all over the place.
Hopefully we'll get a look at this. There's a lot of action inside around the 6. And the Tigers never gave up on the ball. Looked like Kammermeyer may have been the person that thumped that ball in. That is just such a big goal.
Well, a huge goal here in just the 7th minute of the second half. Kremlmeyer given credit for the goal, and hopefully we'll have a replay on that, because that was a, boy, talk about a heads-up play.
Well, it was.
The ball bouncing around, it bounced off the far post, and before Richards could smother it, Kremlmeyer was right there on the spot. Now back to the action as Kemmerer collects it inside the 18, trying to find space to cross it. Can't, and he'll earn the goal, the corner kick. And the Knights will have a corner kick.
Well, now Lincoln Way is going to have to get some urgency into their game, Tom.
Well, down 2-0. It'll be Krupp on the far side of the field. Cross to the near post. Over the goal bar. What a header by Doster at the top of the 6-yard area, but it's knocked away by Gibson. And one big play by the Tigers, followed by another big defensive play by Gibson as he knocks it over the bar to give us another corner kick.
More of a reaction play on Gibson's part.
Short cross, cleared out.
I'm sorry, one of those big saves that his coach was talking about, and he made it when he had to.
Grevilleboy knocked off the ball. Retention, no foul called. Topelic now takes the long shot at the far post, and it slides over the top of the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for the Tigers.
36th goal for Kremlmeyer.
Well, and none bigger than the 2 that he scored tonight. I mean, all of the season leads up to this final game, and they have a 2-0 lead. A lot of time left here in the second half for all the Knights fans.
Kind of poached on that goal, didn't he?
Now Brown retreating. And a indirect kick given on the dangerous play as Brown tried to play that over his shoulder as the attacker was running onto the ball. Brian Grazier, number 20, who's quite a story in and of himself in the ball game. Here we can see on the replay, coming on, that was Cooper who was fouled. It was a dangerous play. I mean, I don't think, to be honest, I didn't think that Brown even saw him coming on the play. Indirect pitch. There's a shot over wide, way high and wide to the right side, and that'll give a goal kick to the Knights.
You know, that goal, Tom, by Kremlmeyer, his second of the night, it's shocking. It has to be shocking for Brian Papa's club. I mean, they really haven't had a whole lot of opportunities, and yet when they have, they've made them count, and that's what this game is all about. And that was just a huge goal.
Well, they played opportunistic. They played aggressive defense, been able to shut down the Knights' high-powered offense, including Grevilleboy and Ducci, and have countered tremendously on the opportunities they've had. So good defense is what wins championships, and that's exactly what the Tigers are putting out here tonight. Excellent defensive play. They're playing that flat back 4, a nice zonal marking. They're not wasting any man-to-man marking on the Knights, and boy, with that, if they keep that up, it's going to be very tough to find spaces in there to work.
They seem to have a real nice feel for it. You know, the other thing about that goal, too, is we were just talking about Lincoln Way and how they had controlled the first 6 or 8 minutes. And boy, they got that goal. It's just amazing.
Demullion, a junior, number 3 for the Tigers, as the Tigers put it in play. Driven ball onto Demullion on the far side. Kemmerer on the defense, trying to stop him. He'll cut back, double team, cleared out nicely. Into the center of the field as Doster picks it off, puts it outside to Grevilleboy. Ducci on the far side making a run. Inside to Doster. Doster lays it off to Grevilleboy. Outside to Ducci now on the left side. Trying to find room. He'll cross it in, and no one making a run on the far post. As Kemmerer finally catches up, but not before it goes over the end line. And a wasted opportunity there as Ducci putting a ball across the top of the 6 with good pace, and no one there to follow it up.
No, Ducci's creating a lot out here on this left flank. But he's not getting the help that he needs on the opposite side. It looks like Lincoln Way is also maybe pushing 3 forward here, aren't they, Tom?
Well, they'll have to. I mean, with down 2 goals, they really have to push 3 forward and probably 7 forward once they cross the midline on any kind of possession. Now to be a throw-in on the far side. Mark Heiderscheid, the first-year coach for the Tigers, leading 2-0 here with 28 minutes remaining in the ball game. Ducci now turns on the afterburners, and it's taken away nicely by Gaylor. Ball cleared out, looking upside to Cooper, brings it down, makes a turn, knocked away. Nice, beautiful defensive play by the Knights. Up to Doster. Doster makes his turn. Fakes. Into Bowden. Bowden, number 3, a senior. Outside to Krupa. Krupa looking for Gravovoy. Loses the handle. Doster now. Circles around. Into Ducci. Ducci one-on-one in the corner. Double coming. He'll lay it back off to Doster. Doster looking for the cross on the far post. Looking for Kammerer. It's over his head and out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick. Another goal kick for the Tigers. Well, Gibson has really only had to turn away that one good chance that they had there. But, boy, he's got to be exhausted with all the goal kicks.
He does. And he's getting nice distance on it. And he's having a terrific game again. We said it before, he reads the game real well, and he keeps himself out of a lot of trouble that way.
We can see the coaches along the sidelines there, Brian Papa and Dan Ratz for Lincoln Way, really don't look that nervous. They know they've got the Bowden now back on the play, adding the attack. Clears it off the defender, and it'll be another corner kick for the Knights. As Krupa, number 10, will go to the far side of the field to make the crossing. We can see the first-year coach, Mark Heiderside, 24-3-1 with a 2-0 lead here in the championship of the AA IHSA State Finals. Low-driven ball, looking for White Claw. Can't find him, and the ball's cleared out. And Greg Doster will chase this down all the way to Richards. Now he'll turn it back up. Outside to Pielik. Collects it up as he's being pressured. Brown loses the handle. Taken back. Brown now fighting for the ball. Knocks it out over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for the Tigers on the far side of the field. You can see all the fans here from Edwardsville.
That would be a long drive, wouldn't it?
That's a longer drive than Edwardsville, yeah.
Well, they traditionally bring a lot of fans up. I know in '97 when they finished second to Fremd here, they had a terrific contingent up.
Offside against the Tigers. One of the few offsides they've had all night. In fact, I'm told it's the first one that they've had tonight. Now Topelic will collect it for the Knights. Behind his midline as he crosses over, looking for the out pass to Ducci. Ducci one-on-one on a lateral run now, trying to find a seam in the defense. Krupa will collect it at the back of the circle. He got Topelic left. He'll drop the ball off to Topelic. Trying to find a way to get the ball in the Gravovoy on the left side. Inside to Ducci. Ducci dancing with the ball. Lays it off to Bowden. Bowden trying to make the turn. Here's the shot on the near post. It's deflected. It'll be picked off by Gibson. And yet another punt by Gibson to put the ball back into play.
You know, Tom, the Tigers defense, as a team, it's very impressive because they stay composed and they keep their shape. And they're making it very difficult for Lincoln Way to play the ball into space and stretch things out.
Well, we can see the shots on goal there. Edwardsville 10, Lincoln Way 9, and most of those 9 shots from Lincoln Way have come here in the second half as Ducci collects the ball at the top of the 18, looking for Gravovoy on the far post. Tries to force it in, and it's knocked away, cleared off by Edwardsville. Topelic trying to gain possession. Can't do it. Cooper now with the through ball on the run. Richards will have to come out to save the day on that as the intended receiver was Bellascoin. A nicely executed through ball there by Cooper.
Bellascoin, nice run up the center channel too, split the defenders, and that was a nice ball in the middle.
Cooper now on the far side of the field, lays it off to Doster. Doster looking for Bowden, instead tries to go to Gravovoy. The ball's intercepted. Cooper taken off his foot by Brown. Brown lays it outside to Krupa. Krupa to Bowden. Bowden. Ball bounced off his chest. He'll collect it up. Looking for the back pass. He'll lay it off. Brown now on the attack. Tries to slide it into Gravovoy. Gravovoy pushed, shoved. He retains possession. Tries to make the turn. Lays it off now to Brown. Brown one touches it through to Gravovoy, and he missed. Connects it. It's saved there by Gibson. Just inches away from a through ball to Gravovoy as he slid right into the 18-yard area off the left post. But credit the defense once again of Edwardsville.
We'll see that one again here, Tom. Ball through.
Just off the foot of Gravovoy. That would have been a beauty to see. Now Ducci gains possession. Gravovoy trying to make a turn. He's double teamed. He's triple teamed. Loses his footing. Topelic wins the ball back. He'll cross it over to Brown. Knocks it back. Brown loses the handle as Doster will collect it. Fighting against Cooper. Brings it outside now. Greg Doster up to the midline. Long through ball. Trying to look on the far side to Whiteclaw. Off Gibson's arm. He'll smother it before it goes out of bounds as Ducci closes in for what might have been a good opportunity. But once again, Edwardsville avoids any kind of problem there. Good long kick as that one's cleared out.
And White Claw kept his run up on the right flank. It appeared from here anyway that he might have been offside, but I don't think, obviously the referee didn't see it that way, and he kept coming.
Doster steals it. Beautiful steal by Doster. Back into the middle to Bowden. Bowden 1v1. Trying to find a way to get it through. Outside to White Claw. Looking for the cross. They'll earn a corner as it goes off the defender in the far corner.
Now, White Claw is a player that you like a lot, huh?
Well, he's a sophomore, played on the sophomore team most of the year, was brought up here in the postseason, and a very accomplished club player for the Chicago Magic. Has a bright future, both on the high school level and certainly on the club level. Now the Knights will put it in play as we can see them stacking up in the middle of the field, looking for Doster in the middle. High up in the air is Brown, but Gibson's right there. And for some reason, there's some kind of problem at Edwardsville complaining about something. Referee says, put the ball back in play. Let's play, gentlemen. Brown heads it away. Tepilik collects it up. Nice touch by Tepilik. Boussier throws it outside. No one in the zone. As he gives that one to Tepilik off his leg, and it'll be a throw-in for the Tigers deep in their own third. And the referee has a few words for Tepilik on maybe perhaps his aggressiveness. But I would expect them to remain 21 minutes and 27 seconds remaining in the ballgame. The heat's going to be turned up here by Lincoln Way. Plenty of time left for both of these teams to do a lot more scoring. Boussier now trying to find White Claw in the middle of the field. White Claw finds it, somehow dribbles through two defenders. The shot now on to Ducci. Ducci trying to get through, and Gibson off his line. My gosh, like a cat.
Just took that ball right off
of Ducci's foot.
Right off his foot.
Another brilliant play by Gibson as the Knights just keep throwing one shot after another, one possession after another. Headed in, looking for Gravaboy. It'll be headed back to the goalkeeper. And of course, he'll be able to handle it. And we'll put another punt. Another long, high punt. Brought down Bowden now on the defense. Doster knocks it down to his brothers. Steve Doster now with the ball, looking outside to Boussier. Rick knocks it ahead to White Claw, but it's going to float out of bounds. We want to remind all of our viewers that if you're trying to catch up with all the scores, there's the best place to find all the high school action here in the Illinois area, www.ihsa.org. And boy, if you haven't seen that site, make sure you get there as soon as you can, because they've got everything, every sport imaginable, and just some great sites, great links, and everything you want to know about prep sports, including the broadcast here tonight and the football broadcast that will be coming up in the next few weeks, volleyball and everything else that the IHSA puts on throughout the year for all the great fans here in the Chicagoland and the Illinois area.
It's that time of the year, huh? Playoff time, Tom.
Oh, every sport, you know, big time, a great time for high school sports in the Illinois area, and some great teams. Boy, I'll tell you, Illinois is probably second to none in terms of the participation and the activities of all the parents and the players and the coaches. People just love prep sports, and if you want more information, it's ihsa.org. Cleared out by Lincoln Way. Inside, Tepilik knocks it away into open space as White Claw tries to find a way to win it. He can't. Given back. Boussier with pressure. Kammerer on the far side of the field. Tackles it away. A nice play by Kammerer. It's knocked out, and it'll be a throw-in for the Tigers on the far side of the field.
You know, on the few occasions I've talked to Brian Papa this year, this is the one game he doesn't like, is when they become 2-0. So maybe he's feeling that his team is in good shape at 2-0, huh, Tom?
Well, exactly. I mean, they've got a lot of things going for them. A good defense. Now they're on the attack with the ball in the attacking third against the Lincoln Way defense.
At what point, though, does it become a concern for Papa?
Anytime inside 8 minutes, they'll start. You'll see a different level of intensity picking up in the final 8 minutes. Because what will happen with Edwardsville, they'll drop back an extra defender, and there'll be almost no seams, and they'll be playing probably a flat back 5. You know, just denying any opportunity to get the ball inside the 18 as throw in on the far side of the field.
Well, and they have an advantage because in Kremlmeyer, too, they have a player who does not mind playing defense, and he's dropping back into that center channel area.
Well, I have to say, the fans pretty much been sitting on their hands for most of the night. That one cleared away inside the 18. Shot, and in the corner of the net. What a shot. Edwardsville. Again on the rebound, a tremendous shot inside. And I don't know, I didn't get the number on that, Mike. Was that Kremmelmeyer again?
No, I don't think so.
Boy, I tell you, just when it looked like
John Matthews.
Just when it looked like Lincoln Way was going to clear the ball away, here's the replay.
We'll see it again. And we just saw the tail end of the shot.
Another well-struck ball by the Tigers, and suddenly an almost insurmountable difference here, 3-0.
Just to get that just inside, and it ended up in the right inside netting. It looked like Matthews from where we were at. Maybe we'll get an announcement here in just a second.
Some bad man marking by Lincoln Way creates an unbelievable opportunity, and it's suddenly, with 18 minutes left in the ball game, Edwardsville has taken a commanding 3-0 lead, and any thoughts of a national championship for the Lincoln Way fans is quickly fading away.
Boy, we had just talked just a moment ago about how Brian Papa talks about 2-0 games and how important it is always to go up 3-0 on a team.
Absolutely.
My goodness.
At any level, either on the professional level or on the amateur level. And there's one smiling coach on the far side of the field, Mark Heidescheider. His first year, boy, talk about a rookie year. He's going to be the envy of every coach in the Midwest. Not only upsetting and unseating the #1 team in the nation, but doing it convincingly here. Although we got a lot of time left in the ball game, but 3-0.
We got, actually that goal, Tom, was scored by Jason Winterbottom. And just a huge goal.
Well, he was unmarked inside the 18, and boy, when you don't do that kind of a thing, that's what's going to result. I mean, Winterbottom just taking that opportunity, driving it into the far corner of the net, and Richards really never had a chance for that.
No, he didn't. Really, he hasn't had a chance on any of the goals tonight.
Now the Tigers will put the ball back in play. Well, we think he's going to put it back into play. And this is where we'll see all of the free kicks on the part of Edwardsville to take a long time, you can see there, and then they just lay the ball off. As now we'll see the possession game for Edwardsville come very demonstratively, because they're going to try and possess the ball as much as they can, and as long as they have the ball, the Knights can't score. Shot on goal. Richards comes off his line. He'll take it off the left post, and he'll put it back into play. And we can see with under 18 minutes left in the ball game, 3-0 in favor of Edwardsville. And it's been a great night for soccer here in St. Charles. On the far side of the field, the Knights will have the throw in. Brown will take the throw in on the far side of the field.
Grabberboy off for a moment, talking to his coach. I suppose he's going to tell him to score 3, huh?
Well, they're going to have to pick up the pace considerably here. But against a what probably will be a flat back 5, they can see they've got 4 players back. Now Boussier at the top of the 18. He's trying to get a shot off. Hits the post. It's loose out in front. Cleared out by the Tigers. Grabberboy now with the shot. He'll go far post. No. Cleared away. Ducci. The ball's knocked off his foot. Cleared out. Bowden still retaining possession for the Knights. Here's the shot. And not well hit. It struck right at Gibson. Gibson cleared off his line.
Tigers caught a break there. Ball off the post.
And Boussier making almost something out of nothing.
He did.
As he makes that shot to the near post. Under 17 minutes now remaining. 16-12, as you can see there on the stadium clock.
Gibson was off his line, Tom, and he somehow slotted underneath him and past him. And unfortunately, it's just kind of the way it's going for the Knights tonight.
Richter will pick up the ball just outside the 18. It's cleared off his foot. Grabberboy fighting for the ball. We talked about Boussier. Now Grabberboy fighting inside, trying to gain possession. He does inside of 3 defenders, and the foul is going to be called. It'll be a free kick for the Knights just at the top, outside the 18. Again, in that dangerous area for free kick specialists like Grabberboy. You know, looking at the quality of these teams, Mike, you know, you have to believe that most of these graduating seniors from both of these clubs, who are accomplished club players as well as high school players, are going to end up on Division I schools next year. There's the shot. Cleared off. What a play by Gibson. Ducci back in. Cleared out. The Tigers avoid it again as Gibson knocks that ball out. Grabberboy pushes the ball ahead. Bowden fights off, wins the ball. Play on, the official says. Now out to Brown. Brown loses the ball, steps it outside to Krupa. And now the officials are going to separate the stepping in, as Gibson will come out and manhandle one of his own players. Some tempers flaring there on what was a tough play. It looked like a foul was on Gravovoy, but no foul given. They had possession, so there was no advantage.
Gravovoy still
and
down.
Now the officials will step in as Ned Gravovoy laying on the ground.
A little frustration, perhaps.
The officials will sort it out on the field, as you can see both the linesmen indicating the stop. The clock is still running in the stadium. They should have stopped the clock, but the clock continues to run. And now the clock, the stadium clock has stopped. One of the linesmen, assistant referees, indicated that the clock should stop, so they may have to reset the clock. But the referee is going to talk to both of the young men involved in what might have been an altercation. And the officials, he's got his card out. We can see this is where this game will, and all of the IHSA TV network games will be seen in Chicago to be WYCC Channel 20, Peoria, Carbondale. The viewership for all the IHSA network programs are up about 50%, so about more than 1 million new viewers will be provided this broadcast, and many more in the years to come as double yellow cards are assigned. Here we can see Krause, Madison County, Mediacom, Nova Cables, and those are all of the cable systems and many, many more throughout the state that'll be rebroadcasting this game and all the events sponsored by the IHSA throughout the entire year.
2 yellow cards given for those two players' troubles, Tom?
Yeah, both the players will leave. That's kind of a normal situation when the officials don't really see what's happening and there's some question. Now the question will be is where is the restart going to come from? The official trying to sort out where the restart is. He's going over to both benches to explain what has happened. And here we can see in the shot, Gibson, boy, he's had a heck of a night, hasn't he?
He really has.
I mean, what a great night for him to perhaps have his best game of the year, just when his team needs it. They're up 3-0, but boy, he's come up with some stellar saves.
He has. Tom, do you like this rule where the center referee has to go explain the yellow cards to the two coaches?
Well, I mean, for most purists, I don't think that's the case. Now the officials are going to reset the clock, as we indicated that it should have stopped. They're going to reset the stadium clock back to 15 minutes and 30 seconds. So
from time to time, I've seen a lot of discussion take place on the sidelines while they talk about that play, and sometimes we'll see a coach discuss a play or a foul that happened 4 minutes earlier too. So I wonder sometimes the wisdom of this particular rule where the official has to go over and explain the yellow cards.
Well, now the official's just about ready to restart things as they're going to have a free kick. Now they're going to, well, the official's indicating that they're going to bring the ball back over to the area where the foul occurred,
on the left side,
which wasn't called in the first place, but on the advantage. Now we'll see what's going to transpire here.
Perhaps a drop ball. When all else fails.
When all else fails, you step in and do a drop ball. That's right. A dangerous situation for the Tigers just outside the top of their 18. Gravovoy will step in.
How many drop
along
balls?
With Luckett.
How many drop balls did you have when you were an official, Tom?
Not many. Try to avoid those.
Never made mistakes?
Well, it made plenty of mistakes. Back on the attack now. White Claw, number 14 on the far right side, drops it back. Krupa trying to find in the far post, looking for Ducci. Headed away, Gravovoy, 1v1. Back heels it to Ducci. Ducci inside the 18, dances inside to Doster. Doster, number 9, trying to get a shot off. It's inside, knocked away. Doster with the shot. It's in the back of the net. The Knights have cut the gap to just 2 goals with 15:05 remaining in the ball game. Our score 3-1, and I'm telling you, some great patience by Lincoln Way, but even better patience by the defenders there. Normally you'd see a lot of players throwing their feet.
Yes.
Here we can see on the play is Doster has a shot. Turn, Gravovoy trying to make the turn, and finally Doster buries it in the back of the net.
Too many players for the Tigers to watch, and that scrum turned into a goal by Doster, 3-1, 65th minute, so there's still a lot of time. Again, Edwardsville's just going to have to settle down.
And the stadium clock is stopped after a goal. The stadium clock will stop. So 15 minutes exactly remaining in the ball game. Gravovoy now at the top in the middle, attacking third. He'll put it outside as White Claw's going to be hailed offside.
Lincoln Way's fans now awake, huh, Tom? Have something to cheer about, and might help their team out a little bit too. You just have to keep pushing
Well,
forward.
a 2-goal deficit with 14 minutes is not too much for the high-powered offense of Lincoln Way. But I tell you, Edwardsville defense has been stellar all night. A little kink in their armor right there, but boy, well earned by Doster and Gravaboy inside in very dangerous territory. Their composure just tremendous, as a handball is going to be called on Doster right in front of the official. If you're going to make a handball, you don't want to do it in front of the official.
No, you can't hide anything there, can you?
That's right. And the Tigers will have a free kick from the back of their circle. 14 minutes with the clock running. Long through ball looking to get upside to Cooper. Bowden now collects it to Doster. Doster up to Gravaboy at the midline. Tries to make a turn, mishandles it, drops it back, looking for Nick Bowden. Instead, he'll go to Richter. Richter, with defender closing in, hits it over the sidelines. Boussier, Josh Boussier, the senior, drops it off the Gravaboy. Gravaboy quickly down to his feet, stutter steps to the outside, cuts it back, loses his footing, and goes down on the turf as the ball's cleared ahead on a breakaway. Closing in Richter. Richards off his line. The ball's going to be shot, and it's wide. As Richards' pressure was much too much for Latner. Adam Latner, the sophomore, with a goal that must have seemed about 60 yards wide as he took the shot. But it was wide, and what might have been the final nail in the coffin is avoided.
And here's the replay. Richards, good challenge. He was far off his line on that play. Just a little wide of that
So
post.
a mix-up on the defense by Lincoln Way almost ends in a disaster as Bowden saves the ball. Back to Richter. Doster now will send it long over the midline. Headed back in the center of the field.
That was a nice ball that Steve DeMoulin played over to that left flank.
Yeah, a
to
great
set
ball.
up that breakaway.
And offside is going to be called quickly. The ball's put into play with Brown on the attack. No one attacking him. Gravaboy inside to Doster. Doster, Boussier into the box. Gibson off his line. And the official's going to talk to Boussier about avoiding any kind of contact with the goalkeeper. He clearly had the ball. And a word to the wise there by the official. Richter now gathers the ball. He's manhandled, thrown to the ground. Referee says play on, no call, as Doster misses it. Now Richter back into play. And a foul given. Luckett went down. Or take that back. That was number 11, Cooper. Cooper was pushed to the ground by Richter.
I believe that was Richter who thought he was fouled back here at the midfield and came back and made the foul on the play.
Demoulian now will take the free kick just outside the 18 with Ducci in a one-man wall position. 11:49 remaining in the ball game. Our score 3-1 in favor of Edwardsville. High in the air, Bowden clears it out. Gravaboy touches it down. Doster mishandles it, tries to clear it outside, fighting for the ball, and he pushes down. It'll be a foul given against the Tigers. Lincoln Way will put it in play. Gravaboy now slides it outside to...
A little more intensity in this match now, huh, Tom?
Well, the pressure's picking up with 11 minutes remaining. Lincoln Way wants to cut that margin to a manageable 1-goal deficit. So you'll see a lot of high pressure defense. Pressure on the ball offside, no flag. As no one really attempted to make the advantage play, even though the player appeared to be offside. Now inside, Brown clears it all the way down, looking for Bowden. Bowden with a beautiful chest trap, brings it down, loses possession. Whiteclaw fighting for it, and the foul given against Whiteclaw will be a free kick for the Tigers. Ten minutes, 39 seconds remaining. Lincoln Way desperate to get possession, as once again the Tigers will take their time to put the ball in play. They lose it over the sideline quickly. Lincoln Way will get it forward to Doster, to Bowden, back to Doster, looking for Ducci. Ducci trying to make an inside run, loses the handle. Bowden now speeds on to fight for the ball. 1v1. Cooper into the 18-yard area. He's taken off the ball, and it's going to be a PK as Brown's called for the penalty kick. And a tough situation for Brown in that situation on a breakaway coming from behind. He really didn't have much of a chance to do anything.
No, he didn't.
He tried to step in front, and we can see here on the replay And he takes the player off. I mean, a good call by the official and a good angle.
Yep.
And it's going to give Edwardsville an opportunity to literally put this game away with 10 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the ball game. They already possess a 3-1 lead. This could make it 4-1 as Richards on his line.
What made that play too, Tom, is a quick ball on the outside counter, and Lincoln Way more compact, trying to push forward and left the flanks open. And
Kremlmeyer now at the PK line as the official trying to get everybody set. Richards on his line. Kremlmeyer with an awesome kick can literally close the casket on this one. Richards, the shot into the corner. No doubt about it, as Richards got even a great jump on the play, and at the 10:06 level remaining, Edwardsville takes a commanding 4-1 lead.
Richards read, he guessed right, but too much pace on that ball.
Just inside the post, hits the crease in the back, and that's exactly where you want to bury it when you're shooting PKs.
His third goal.
A hat trick for Kremlmeyer. Boy, talk about an All-American night for an All-American player. Here in the state finals to score 3 goals against the top-rated team in the country. Gravaboy now will try to put it in play. Here's the long through ball, looking outside to White Claw. White Claw racing for it, knocks it into the 18-yard area. They'll be collected up and quickly cleared out. And at this point, that's probably all we're going to see, Mike, for the remaining 10 minutes. Is every time Edwardsville can get a foot on the ball, they're going to knock it out, try and clear it back to the midline.
Absolutely.
And it'll be a throw-in on the far side of the field as Bowden loses possession.
Tom, would you have ever imagined we'd see 5 goals in this game tonight?
Well, I thought it was going to be a wide-open game, you know, with both teams, even though because both teams have very high-powered offense. But to be honest with you, I thought Edwardsville would have much more of a possession game. They've had great opportunities. They've made the most of those opportunities. And the Knights just haven't been able to connect the dots in the midfield to give any open space to Gravaboy. Ducci's had some great crosses, but they just couldn't connect the dots tonight.
Well, I think you're right. I think Edwardsville's midfield really kind of unsung work tonight. They've done a terrific job. And
Doster up to Gravaboy now. 1v1 as the ball's cleared out over the sideline. Very nicely by Gaylor. Now Gravaboy trying to make a turn, double team, slides it into Ducci. Ducci dances along outside to Doster. Doster inside, beautiful play for Doster. Brown up on the attack inside the 18 as Richter loses the handle. That one's knocked away. He's onside because the ball was played over the midline. And the foul's going to be given against Lincoln Way. It'll be a free kick for the Tigers. Well, Mike, this has been an outstanding year for soccer in the Chicagoland area and all throughout the state of Illinois. I mean, when we talk about the Chicago Fire having a tremendous season, now a great IHSA final here with Edwardsville coming away with what would appear to be a 4-1 victory against the top-rated team in the country. Back on the attack now, Demulian high over the bar. It'll give a goal kick to Lincoln Way. Well, as we bid the 8 minutes remaining in the ball game. And there we can see from Soccer Fag, no team in the Southern Illinois has won the Class AA championship since Collinsville in 1992. Boy, Collinsville and Granite City, you know, were the kings of soccer back for many, many years. And in the last few years, Chicago's taken over that possession as club soccer in the Chicagoland area has grown leaps and bounds with some of the best players in the country, including Ned Gravaboy. And, you know, we talk about soccer in the Chicagoland area, and even on the high school level, there's so many players, so many great players that aren't playing in high school.
That's right. You know, they decide to train with their clubs instead, and we're not seeing them on here on the high school level. But a lot of talent on this field, and we shouldn't overlook the Class A field down in Edwardsville this weekend, too. And that was a great tournament. A terrific field of 8. Probably 4 or 5 teams that were all capable of winning the state title. So I think both ends were very well. It'd be kind of interesting to see the Class A and Class AA teams play the 2 champions for an overall tournament.
Exactly.
Huh? We can come on here next weekend, couldn't we?
Well, I think the players would be willing to do it. Kremlmeyer now brings it down, throws it ahead in space, trying to retain possession, puts a through ball, outside foul by Bowden.
I think we had an offside flag up.
Offside flag was up. That's right on the far side. So it'll be a free kick. Steve Doster now playing in what is his final game of his outstanding high school career.
He's had a very good postseason, Steve Daustry. He had 6 goals, a couple of assists as the Knights worked their way through the postseason. Unfortunately tonight for him so far, not able to find the back of the net.
And both of these teams, you know, let it be known, both these teams have played 3 games in a 24-hour period, and that's an awful lot for what are 16, 17-year-old young men.
It's a lot to ask.
Even the professionals can't keep up that kind of a pace on a single elimination process like we have here. But
well, and if you add the super sectional earlier in the week and then some travel, it's a busy week for him. And sometimes I'm surprised the play is as good as it is. I guess it's a tribute to the players and the coaching staffs along the way, because it still has been a good game despite the 4-1. I mean, I don't think we can overlook that at all.
A tremendously played game, well executed on both parts of the field, offensively and defensively. But Edwardsville just coming up with the best opportunities, making the most of them, and you know that's how you win championships. As Doster collects the ball, lays it off to Dowden, heel past it. Doster trying to find space, works his way in, trying to get the ball to Grabavoy. He's fouled as he tries to make a turn, and it'll be a free kick for the Knights with 5 minutes 9 seconds remaining in the ball game. Grabavoy now looking at the far side. He'll put it in the air. Cleared out.
And, you know, the other thing is, too, Tom, talking about the quality of play. You and I we see a lot of games, and we're down on the sideline for a lot of them. And you just look back 2-3 years, how much quicker the games become, too. And sometimes you don't get the real feel for it from up in the stands. But these boys are playing hard, and the game is getting faster and faster.
Well, 2v1 now on the Edwardsville trying to break it through, and Richter called for the foul.
It's a good foul.
A good tactical foul. I mean, in that situation, Cooper's got to try and release the ball and get it to his running mate on the far side of the field. Couldn't do it.
And get that play coming up again.
Here we can see Richter just cuts in front of him.
Body to body.
And he had as much an opportunity to play the ball, but he's called for the foul.
Can we call that a professional foul, Tom?
That was pretty much a professional foul, yeah. Into the box, cleared out by the Knights. Krupa will collect it. Pushes it ahead, trying to find space. Puts it into the center circle, knocked out of there. Whiteclaw now with possession. Loses it, back to Whiteclaw. Well, you have to be impressed with Kremmelmeyer. 3 goals on the night in the state championship game. Boy, I'll tell you, a great night for that young man.
Oh, it is. And
what a way to end a career.
And he and Grabavoy both being recruited by Indiana University. There's
we
our
can
2
see
All-Americans tonight.
6 goals and 3 assists in the tournament alone. And there's the 2 All-Americans. Well, they're not done playing soccer at this point. You have to believe.
No, and as I was saying before, these 2 players both being recruited by Indiana. Kremmelmeyer also by St. Louis, terrific Conference USA team. And I have a sense he might end up there. Of course, he's close to that program, very familiar with it. And see him playing here another year or 2.
Well, that's what a lot of the coaches and a lot of journalists like yourself would like to see, is have a lot of youngsters stay in the Midwest where they can be part of the soccer scene for years to come. Kremmelmeyer now in the circle, trying to hold possession. Knocks it up top. Again, trying to retain possession of the ball off the foot of the defender. There's Krupa. And now the Tigers will put it back in play on the far side of the field. Krupa fighting for the ball as the clock continues to wind down against the Knights with an insurmountable problem. Cleared out. Other sideline will be a throw in for the Tigers on the far side of the field. Throw in now for the Tigers. Far side of the field now. The Tigers picking the ball up, and under 2 minutes remaining in the ball game. And we want to remind everybody that this copyright broadcast is presented for the entertainment and non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction or other use of this program without the express written consent of the IHSA Association is strictly prohibited. Now the Tigers holding on to the ball. Kremmelmeyer forced off of it. as a number of substitutions into the ball game. Some of the youngsters who have been a big part of both teams getting into the ball game on every stoppage. A minute 30 remaining in the ball game, and Mike, this ball game is one of those ones in the history book already.
Yeah, it is.
A 4-1 advantage for Edwardsville, and well played, well executed, just an outstanding ball game here tonight. This is the kind of ball game all the fans came for, particularly the fans that came all the way from Edwardsville.
This is especially for them.
Their team has come up very big. What might have been the ball cleared away might have been considered perhaps an impossible task to beat a Chicago team in the Chicagoland area, but they've come. They didn't play as well as they played tonight in their first match. That's needless to say that. But boy, when it all counted and everything was on the line, Edwardsville comes up huge. And I know our good friend Dale Shilley down in the Metro FC area is going to be delighted with the success of these young men, and we'll be probably following the careers of all these youngsters for many, many years to come.
And you have to feel for Brian Papa. It's got to be a huge disappointment. 2 years in a row, probably coming in as a favorite last year, and then having East Moline beat them. And then again this year, you still have to say the prohibitive favorite, wouldn't you, Tom, coming in?
Absolutely. You know, and for Coach Mark Heiderscheider on the other side of the field, just a tremendous feeling in his part. Their team coming in with an incredible 24-3-1 record. Make that 25-3-1 as we count down the final 5 seconds of the ball game. And say Edwardsville Tigers have won the 2000 state championship here at St. Charles East High School in Chicagoland area. A tremendous victory, unseating what has been the national champs, if you would, throughout the year. A 4-1 victory for the Tigers. You can see them and their fans along the sidelines, some very excited people from the Edwardsville area, and they've got a lot to be proud of, as do the fans from Lincolnwood.
Absolutely. And Edwardsville is going to be one of those teams that is going to go home with a win streak, and Lincoln Way not. You have to feel bad for Lincoln Way, but they still had a terrific season. And they were just beat by a little bit better of a team tonight.
Well, on a different night, maybe the result is different because these two teams equally matched. But Kremmelmeyer, boy, the player of the match tonight, comes up with a hat trick. We can see as Edwardsville coming up with a 4-1 victory, 2 goals in each half. A very solid performance by a great team here from Edwardsville against an equally great team from Lincoln Way. We'll have a chance to come back and meet with the coach down in the field and find out what his thoughts. A rookie coach winning the state championship in his first season at the helm. This is the IHSA Television Network. We'll be back with those things and a lot more as we close up the 2000 soccer season here for IHSA.
In an emergency, only Country Company's insurance gives you immediate advice from a claims authority. Country Company's insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick.
Get out of here. What? You want to dance, old man?
Want strong bones? Calcium may help prevent osteoporosis.
Charles. The final score here in St. Charles, Edwardsville Tigers 4, the Lincoln Way Knights 1. And what a great ball game, Mike. I mean, Edwardsville just coming out, playing their game and forcing it. We can see by the final stats here. Look at the shots on goal by Edwardsville.
And Edwardsville certainly made them count, didn't they, Tom? 4 goals. They had maybe 2 or 3 other good quality chances, but boy, they scored. And Kremmelmeyer was just amazing tonight. 3 goals, each one of them better than the other.
Well, no question about it. The man of the match was Kremmelmeyer. 3 goals to put his team over the top against the team that was rated #1 in the country. You know, it's an exciting night for them, and what a way to end the 2000 season here at St. Charles.
Now, you have to congratulate the Tigers. You know, they came a long way, worked their way through, and never backed down from Lincoln Way either. And I thought their defense was terrific, and their midfield play was outstanding when it had to be. Controlled the match, pace of the game, and Lincoln Way had trouble after they got behind.
Well, we're going to come back in just a few minutes with a chance to talk with the coaches and a lot more before we end this 2000 season. We'll be right back. This is your IHSA Television Network.
In an emergency, only Country Company's insurance gives you immediate advice from a claims authority. Country Company's insurance. Real people, real answers, real quick.
I see a little silhouette of a kind. Mountain Dew, Mountain Dew.